city network to talking about the low carbon integration in urban infrastructure and healthy city. My report is, the title is a carbon emission pattern and impact mechanism of urban growth and shrinkage in China and Japan. Okay. Today I talk about four things about this issue. The first is the urban development pattern and environmental sustainability. Around the world, cities are now always growing, not growing, right? We think the city is growing, but actually a lot of city is experience significant population loss. So the shrinking as a city phenomenon is now is a very obvious various in many countries. We used to describe the German city, they lost the population and the experience increase and improvement due to the industrialization. This slide shows some examples of greening and the city, right? The growing city. The urban linkage the common both subjects and the developing country. And another side is about the carbon emission are the main cause of the climate change. Carbon emission from fossil fuel consumption is the main reason for greenhouse effects. In this process, urban areas are the most intensively carbon emitting regions. More than half of the world's population living in the urban area and emits 75 to 80% of carbon dioxide, while urban area cover only 2% of the global land area. So for the carbon emission detection, the key should be a city. And today, my research question is about what are the difference in carbon dioxide emission trends and the different urban development pattern. And is there any potential for Silicon City to improve environmental benefits regarding CO2 emissions? And the third is what are the commonality and variance in the low effects affecting urban carbon dioxide emission in growing and Silicon City? About the carbon emission, what's the difference in the intensity of the human activity, energy consumption, carbon emission, and the carbon sink? So the first is we need how we can quantify urban carbon dioxide charts and also make sure some inference facts. Today, I focus on two regions. One region in China is in the Yangtze River, is including Shanghai, is Shanghai City, and another is the whole country of Japan. They have some data here. And first, let me define about the next. The first, I would like to identify the urban development patterns using this figure. we show the X is the population change, the Y is the population density. We divide four pattern and define population increase, density increase is meaning urban growth. And another side is continued shrinkage is meaning population density, this both is the decrease. This is one, about the urban pattern we define. And another is the second message to about this figure 5 is analysis chart of carbon emission using the tensing coefficient. Classify the chart of carbon emission into three types: increase, decrease, and the fraction. And about the third method is to analyze the influence of factor of the carbon emission using panel threshold model. This threshold model here, and the last one is use analyze influence factor of the urban emission and the perspective of spatial effect. We're using the spatial economic model to do this analysis. About the results, the urban growth and the potential shrinkage, we can see we have two. One is about China and one is about Japan. This is about Japan. We can see if you see the Japan. Japan is about 40, more than 41% is a continued shrinkage city. It's meaning is population decrease, population density decrease. Is here very big data, right? And about China, that area, we still have a growing city is about more than 43. So we can see the continuous synergy and the potential synergy occupy the highest proportion in Japan. And those figures, we compare the carbon emission level of different cities in China and Japan. And find in most cities of China and Japan are characterized by a low value aggregation. According the city pattern, they are the per capita carbon emission the change we investigate. And it is a chart of the carbon emission in different cities. In China, the chart of per capita carbon emission is mainly dominated by growth city and growth and fraction. Growth and fraction. And in China, only 7.5% of the potential shrinkage city and 80.2% of the growing city have a decreased trend in carbon emission. That's meaning always increase, right? In Japan, more than 97, about 97 of the cities show a decrease in the carbon emission. But we compare these two country, we can find the carbon emission and the different urban development in China and Japan. About the per capita carbon emission of Japan city is larger than those of China city, and all for four type of city development pattern. And we codify how the street effect of the urbanization level and the aging rate changes the relation between the industrial structure and the carbon emission, as shown in this slide. The results suggest that different carbon emission management model are necessary. For example, in China, in growing city, urbanizing divides the impact of industrial structure on carbon emission per capita into two level interview. And where the urbanization rate is over 64%, industrial structure upgrade can significantly decrease the carbon emission will be decreased, right? In Japan, in continued Ritsumeikan city, age rate is the main fact. The population age rate, for example, is 20%. Promotion effect of industrial structure upgrade on carbon emission is not very strong. You can see this line is not. It's meaning carbon emission will be even changes the industrial structure is very weak. Then we put many facts based on the spatial effects. We quantify the effect of a different effect on carbon emission in local and the neighbor city, and find some similarity and difference between the sample of China and Japan city. There are many. Here is for China, right, is an urban growth pattern, and where is the shrinkage pattern. The different GDP and the urban green industry structure, a lot of factors, they have a different effect on the urban carbon emission. For example, economic development promoting urban carbon emission through direct effects for all the case, right? And increase the income level, promoting carbon emission in also for growing and shrinking city. And a shift of industrial structure to the tertiary sector create indirect carbon reduction effects in both shrinkage and green city. This is for China. And for Japan, also economic development promoting urban carbon emission, both and the urban growth and shrinkage in Japan. But increase in resident income favor the mitigation of carbon emission, especially in shrinking city about the level. And increase the proportion of the tertiary sector in Japan may not have a significant effect on the reduced carbon emission. And the last one is about carbon emission impact mechanism. We joining a structure is I think I have more time to describe the detail. We summarize the mechanism of influence urban carbon emission in China and Japan. Carbon emission and different urban development patterns are influenced by many factors, and the different impacts of urban population size and density are transmitted to industrial structure, technology level, and energy efficiency, which affects the scale of the carbon emission in city. In this process, aging and urbanizing have a threshold low. And then we have some mitigation measures about China and Japan. We can, for the China, for example, the clustering the population and develop a one center pattern. Something like a compact city will decrease the carbon emission, right? Also, renovating the urban area and efficient industry park, promoting smart into shrinkage. Yeah, also I think in here, develop a post-center pattern and borrow the advantage from neighbor city, upgrading the industrial structure, regional cooperation to avoid transfer of the environment damage. For the urban growth pattern in Japan, we're thinking need to develop an innovative service industry, financial, research and development, and technology service by attracting a high level skill level. Now the Japanese government to change a lot of policy to want to invite a lot of foreign intelligence to come in to do such kind of thing. Also, rationalize urban space to improve the energy efficiency. But for the continuous city in Japan, it's a very serious phenomenon, and also it's a problem for the urban development. So spatial scale of continuous city should be adjusted and compared to improve the accessibility of the public service, promoting the aggregation effects of industry such as nursing care, family service, health and wellness, and recreation. Actually, the shrinking, city shrinking is cannot avoid in the future. So we how to for urban planning, we need thinking not a new older way, right? Older way we always thinking the urban is growth, but actually now many city is so I think in my time is coming, and the conclusion, the number of growth city and the potential city occupy more than 80% in China research region, while the continuous shrinking city and the potential shrinking city occupy more than 70% in Japan. While smart shrinking city occupies at least number of the city in both region during 2010 and 2020. The results show that the continuous shrinking city have a high level of carbon emission, both in China and Japan. Cities in China face a more severe challenge to carbon neutral than those in Japan. Urbanization and engine change the relation between the industrial structure upgrading and the carbon emission in different types of cities in China and Japan. Spatial and short effects exacerbate the complexity of the carbon emission mechanism in Silicon and green city in both countries. Thank you. Thank you for your listen.